let's see if this thing is live. It's not showing me as live. Oh, there we go. Let's see if it. Okay, it is. Sweet, 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 sweet. Doing a live review. Okie dokie. If I'm mumbling, it's just because people are sleeping in the house. So, anyways, I'm gonna start this off by saying that uh, I am only platinum across the board. I am not a GM. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. I might run through this twice. Once with the overview, but once actually putting myself in your shoes. We'll see what happens beginning of the match. And for those watching, this is a review for ANKR, Anchor, I presume. I'm just going to be giving my little 2 cents. Uh, First off, I always say this. If you are not on comms, you are doing it wrong. Maybe your team does, maybe it doesn't. Communication is always better than no communication. I'm not saying you have to be talking 24/7, but you know, verbally using pings, every method of communication is fine, especially when you actually start running with a team that you're comfortable with. You guys will find your own way to communicate, your own chemistry. Uh, because that's what I'm looking for when I make a team is we actually have our own little unique communications to make it easier for everybody. So if you're not on comms, you're already doing it wrong. Secondly, when you pushed in, you guys did not push in as tight as I'd like. Obviously, Somber's going to go try to get a pick or two, or at least harass uh, team comp. Let's see. So you got Torb. I'm not familiar with Jetpack yet, so I'm not sure how Cat fits into everything. I do like your guys' setup though. Freaking Orisa, who's my favorite. You got Sombra, Ashe, Moria, Mercy. So you got a mobile healer that can also substitute damage. You got Ashe, which, presuming she is accurate, is good at long range engagements. Since the opponent team does not have a shield, that Ashe is a great counter to Torb and Zenyatta. And then Moria is a good counter if you go healer on healer to go ahead and harass the opponent healers. Arisa is good at fortifying, so as long as the Mercy stays back and, you know, stays alive, that'll keep your Arisa alive. So the team comp actually, I would say, is easily tilted to you guys. Uh, yeah, as long as you keep the Torb turret down, you guys should be fine. The Sombras are going to be interesting to watch, though. Oh, but yeah, you guys are too spread out, in my opinion. The tank controls the line. The two healers should not be pushing in front of the tank. Maybe I'm being a little... Yeah, I'm going to nitpick because these things do matter because it will get to a point when people talk about damage and stats, there will get to a point where damage and stats do not matter. You could, like, it'll get to a point when the teams will literally stay together and they will poke and a game will be decided who can get the first pick. And usually it's the healers who are targeted. Because if you can turn it into a 4-on-5, the 5 team should sweep the 4. The team will have to regroup, and you guys will usually be able to push a third of the map. So at the end of a game, at the higher levels, at least the more efficient ones, deaths should be no more than 4 at the end of a round. Because usually if whoever gets picked first, usually will get rolled for that, unless they regroup. But anywho, alright. So it's alright, pushing in. You got the healer DPS, healer tank combo. I'm not mad about that. You're so I don't know if you're communicating that Moria, that Mercy. I do not like. I just don't like it when teams spread out like this because someone's gonna get set up to get picked, especially when you got the tank pushing behind. If the tank actually turns around, that Mercy is not protected by the DPS, might be able to fly to the Moria, but all it takes is a rocket burst while holding R2, and you guys are already down a healer. That's why I don't like splitting. But, solid. Uh, I do like the aggressiveness. Like it said, you and the Ashe are a good counter for the Torbs. You went, took them out. They do not have a res. So essentially, you guys are almost running 6-on-5 or a 5-on-5 plus 1. You easily take out the turret right at the beginning. immediately push back. You got 2 healers on you, so you guys have the numbers advantage right now. Although I am not sure what your, I guess your Ashe is pushing the point, but if anything, your Ashe needs to pull over here, help you take out the tank, protect you guys, get that +1, +2 advantage. You guys can wipe the team immediately, come back here. Hopefully you guys don't lose. Yeah, so the Mercy got taken out. The reason I harp on that, because it's always the +1, 2 advantages I'm looking for. Because all it takes is just one guy to get picked. Now you lost your Mercy who had the res. Now it's 3 on 4 right now. I guess your Sombra's in the background, didn't see her. So instead of escorting, the Ashe needed to push to you guys faster. Mercy could probably still be alive, but like I said, I'm nitpicky. I'm sorry, I should be more focusing on you. Alright, yeah. Love the aggressiveness on the Torb. You should not be pushing alone and unafraid, because all it takes, I guess with the team comp, I don't know what you're actually thinking. Because a good team comp, they will, especially if they have comms, they actually try to find, it's like a herd mentality. They will communicate, hey, this person's by themselves, and then the whole team will actually go to try to jump that one person. Alright, so you're holding the line, comms wise, so they're, freaking Sombra just took out 2 people at once. There wasn't comms. I don't think you noticed to turn around. Yeah, now she's pushing your guys' Mercy. So, yeah. Field awareness is a thing. Communication would mitigate 80% of what just happened. Sombra's behind. There's Sombra's pushing. Alright, well, at least you guys are waiting for the Mercy. I don't know what's going on with your Mercy. Okay, change to Kiriko. Alright, you guys should have the advantage here. Ashe is great on straightaways, especially with her ability with Dynamite. You hold the front line. That Torb should be getting smoked. Nice. There you go. Man, there's way too much going on at once. So as of right now, it's you guys have the advantage of a 4 on 3. They're missing a healer and a DPS, so you guys should be focusing on their Kit Kat, who's almost dead. Yeah, this is communication-wise, you guys should be calling out like Cat 2 or Sombra 3, which should be alerting to your DPS how much health they have. So your Moria's doing a good job trying to push to take out the healer, but did not do a good job of taking the healer out.
You're all good.
I'm way too focused on team comp. I need to be giving you tips. So, quick notes right now on what you're doing good, ANKR, is I love your aggressiveness towards the Torb. You're not getting, as far as I can tell, you're not getting caught up in trying to hit the tank when the tank is backed up by 2 healers. You're kind of ignoring their tank, trying to get the 1 or 2 picks on the DPS who overpush or overexpose themselves while keeping their turret down. That's a good thing. So, right now you guys have 3. Kiriko should be able to teleport, so it's 3 on 2. Their team should be trying to. Hey, there we go. Way to get out of that ult. You guys got the pick, took down the tank, took down the healer. Way to just keeping that turret down. So in regards to individual skills, good awareness on the Torb where he's placing his turret and making sure that always stays down. Yeah, and it's showing. Alright. So your Sombra should be hiding, waiting for U4 to push up. I want to see the ult usage. Yeah, your Sombra's doing too much at the moment. Alright, so right now it looks like they switched to Iara. Bad turret placement by the Torb. Should be somewhere over here, but that's... The enemy sets 1, 2, 3, 4. So you guys have 3. Brigitte, whatever, spawn behind.
Do something!
Good ult use. I like your aggressiveness. Something I've noticed is you have not overextended as far as I've been able to tell. So you guys got 3. Waiting for the brig. Alright, so we're gonna see how you guys do your ult usage. But now you're doing a good job controlling the line. So I am wondering, I want to review that. Let's check that ult usage. Because Orisa is good for these kind of engagements, this King's Row maps that are narrow with streets, because you can basically cut off a whole part of the street and force an enemy team to push back or even force them off the point. But also you should, whether it be area control, you guys have 5 minutes and 5 seconds left. You guys do have to, or you guys are the Reds, you guys are winning. So I don't understand the necessity in trying to use an ult to try to get a diva out of her mech. I think you could have held on to it, used it more effectively. Yeah, I would probably say, yeah, you used it. Is diva out of her mech? Nope, she was able to keep her mech, so you used your ult, and you got flanked by Sombra and Iara. Yeah. Just a case of bad ult usage, a little overextension, and now that whole team has actually reconvened. It's 5. You have 3 back here. Where's the Sombra? Sombra's dead, you're dead. So now those 3 are going to have to wait for you and Sombra to come back. So probably would have been a little bit more conservative instead of pushing too far. Hold your ult, back up, wait for when you guys actually have like your full team on you. You usually want to use your ults when you have your whole team with you to get that one pick, and then also your ult would actually be really good to go with Moria because you pull them all in. Moria pops the ult. So just one case of bad ult usage. And overextension. Other than that, you're not doing too bad. Alright, you push forward. Make sure nobody's behind you. You guys should be jumping on that. Oh. What can you do? You didn't quite get out of the way in time, knocked you off the edge. Ooh, lost the lead. Alright, switching to a diva right after an ult, so that's not a bad change. If you're gonna do it, usually you want to do it right after the ult. Diva, who are you trying to counter? Because diva is also good to counter a Torb, because you can dive into, good for diving into Torb's turrets, and then also mobility wise. I don't like the healers that you have though, because Zen would be good because when you can dive without having to worry about not getting heals. Yeah, Brig's gonna be pretty useless on healing for you. So I don't mind the tank change, but the healers do not complement it. So it's a little too...
Catch you later.
Yeah, too much pressure. You guys are already down one person, so it's 4 on 5. Yep, 5 on 3. So overall notes, I would say, uh, a lot of the generals are there. I would say biggest thing for a tank is controlling the line, which you did well. You had one case of over pushing, and that was when I was critiquing the ult usage to try to get that diva. I don't think that was the best use of the ult. Uh, in fact, if you had saved it and retreated to catch up with the rest of your team, because you guys were only pushing with 3, I think. Especially when your Moria had the ult at that time, you guys could have perhaps got a team wipe, or at least 3 of them with you and Moria combining your ults. Uh, and yeah, there's 3 minutes left, but instead of them pushing all the way up here with a full team advantage, you guys could probably still be all the way over there. Uh, these games come down to the small things, and yeah, you're not going to be able to have as much chemistry with a bunch of randos. Uh, but that's what I'm seeing. Yeah, you didn't make any crazy mistakes. And even the mistakes you did make, they weren't consistent. They were just kind of the odd one out there. So team awareness, if you're at the disadvantage and numbers, pull back. Uh, ult usage, be aware of who else on your team has an ult, because you can combo it with that. Uh, and yeah, that's probably the biggest thing was just that one ult usage way out front. I think I've hammered on that enough. Uh, team communication, there was way too much trailing from your guys' team. If you guys got 1 or 2 who were knocked, you guys need to regroup. Um, Outside of that, that's about it.